Hello people and welcome to The Drowned Island, a horror-themed visual novel about an investigator arriving at a secluded island in the North Sea to solve the mystery of a disappeared lighthouse keeper. So here goes.
The journey from Scrabster to there was one of the worst, if not the worst journey I'd ever made. Unpleasant people, foul weather, and an unruly sea that just would not be at rest. Indeed, it was as if the very world beckoned me not to put my foot on that accursed rock in the North Sea. And yet I went there, despite my better knowledge. A century ago, it was said that the island simply rose up from the immeasurable depths below. And on the very same day that the islanders celebrated 100 years of independence and isolation, I arrived. It was almost as if fate had predicted it.
The Drowned Island. I received a rude awakening as the fishing boat made port at a forlorn bridge with an audible thump. This seemed to be the place where people went to go if they had no desire to be found for the rest of their lives. The Scottish fisherman who had reluctantly agreed to ferry me across from the mainland gave me a dour look with one sunken eye. "We have arrived at Draktair, lad." I surveyed my surroundings. The port was little more than a rickety bridge and a couple of abandoned shacks. Steep cliffs loomed over me like giants from some dark children's fairy tale. Heavy waves crashed against the rocky shores and the skerries out in the deeper waters. To think that there were people calling Draktair their home was beyond my understanding. "This is it?" I asked. "It looks barely inhabited." "This is it," the fisherman confirmed. "And this is where I will leave ye, lad. Draktair is no place for an old beach washer like myself." Beach washer? I reflected. Once my business here is concluded, how will I be able to return? The fisherman shrugged. "Ain't really my business, lad. If it were up to me, I would not sail within 100 miles of this wretched place. But you seem to be on an urgent matter, and so I took you here." "What of the locals?" I asked. "Is there anyone on the island who could take me back to Scrabster?" The fisherman shifted with discomfort and gazed around anxiously, almost as if he was worried that someone might be eavesdropping. I failed to see how and for what reason this place was derelict. Not even the seagulls desired to land. "You should not stay here for too long, lad," he said. "Bad place." It was not the answer I had been hoping for, but I reckoned that I had been taking enough of his time. As for his fear of the island, I could only assume that it stemmed from some sort of Scottish superstition or folklore. I tipped the brim of my hat in a respectful farewell to the fisherman as he readied his boat to leave for sea once more. From here on forward, I could only pray that one of the islanders had a boat that would be able to take me back to Scrabster once my errand was concluded. One of the bridge poles had plenty of notches on it, as if systematically carved with a knife. How peculiar. "We'll go in." As expected, the village by the port was composed of a few buildings in a state of near collapse. The shacks seemed to be abandoned, or at the very least they gave the impression of being so. Small shacks and crofts constructed from rotting wood and rocks from the stony shores spoke lengths of their decrepit state. Never before had I felt so alone in the universe. As I knocked on one of the doors, it became apparent that this island was indeed inhabited. A tall figure in a raincoat appeared before me. his face shrouded by shadows. Judging by his posture and wrapped up hands and neck, he seemed to be suffering from some sort of malignant deformity. "Who goes there?" he asked in a cold, hissing voice, reminiscent to that of ice breaking. "Just a traveling author. I'm an investigator from Inverness." "I am an investigator from Inverness," I said truthfully. "May I ask you a few questions?" The misshapen islander suspiciously observed me with bloodshot eyes for a moment. The islanders of Drektea certainly seemed to be wary of strangers. "Ye may, mainlander," he said. "Step inside." I respectfully tipped my hat as I entered the islander's cottage. I did not know whether or not it had been wise of me to be so honest with this man. A disappearance had occurred, and Drektea did not exactly have a lot of people, limiting the list of potential suspects if a crime had been committed. As my eyes adjusted to the dim light from the one window inside the dark cabin, I slowly became aware of my surrounding. Inside there was a hearth, a couple of shelves, a table with a bench, and, at the far back, a door with iron fittings. There was the faint stench of fish and moldy bread in the damp air. "An investigator from Inverness, eh?" He wheezed in a tone that almost sounded mocking in nature. "What would bring the law to Drektea? We are but a simple folk." "It is concerning the disappearance of one Edward Curwen," I explained. "He was supposed to have been picked up by Her Majesty's Coast Guard a month ago, but he never appeared on the bridge." The islander snorted. "Mr. Curwen, he is our Vicky, that much is for sure. Have not been tending much to the lighthouse as of late, though." "Interesting," I murmured. "Is there anything you can tell me about Mr. Curwen?" The misshapen man shrugged. "He is a mainlander like yourself. A good man. Does not make too much noise and does not ask questions." I felt that the last statement was aimed at me. These islanders did not have much affection for people from the mainland. "Do you know if there was anything odd about his behavior as of late? Anything that might explain him vanishing mysteriously?" The islander shook his head in denial. "Hardly spoke to the fellow," he wheezed. "Only knew him from first impressions. But from what I could tell, he did not seem like a bad sort." "So there are no reasons to suspect that foul play might have played a part in his disappearance?" The misshapen man's eyes turned hard and cold. "I never said that. But if you're implying that we who live here on Drektea had anything to do with it, ye would be wise to reconsider. We are a hard-working and earnest folk, and we wish to be left alone." "Pardon me," I said. "It was not my intention to accuse the islanders of anything, but anything you might tell me would be of tremendous help if there has been a crime committed." He snorted again. "You could go up to the lighthouse and see for yourself, mainlander." To my surprise, the misshapen man approached one of the shelves in the cabin and produced a small key from behind a clay pattern. "You acquired the lighthouse spare key." "I never bothered with the lighthouse myself," the islander said, "but I am one of the few on the island who possesses a spare key, good for emergencies." "You never investigated the lighthouse after Mr. Curwen disappeared?" I inquired curiously. The islander frowned. "Oh, fuck. It is not any of my damn business where the Vicky decides to run off to, but I can tell you that none of us islanders would know anything about it." With that said, the misshapen man began to move towards the door at the back of the cabin. "I need to look after me old sweetheart for now, but I hope you find whomever you're looking for, mainlander." I nodded in appreciation and watched as he slipped in through the darkness behind the door, locking it behind him. While a key to the lighthouse was certainly helpful, I could not help but to feel as if there was more to Curwen's disappearance than the islander let on. Before leaving here, there was certainly the opportunity to do some investigation of my own. On the shelf there was a few books gathering dust. They seemed quite old, and the primary topic seemed to concerned navigation and sea life. Nothing of interest. A note tucked behind the books read as following: Drowner's Point, midnight, do not forget. A couple of clay platters on display. They appeared to be homemade. Nothing of interest. There appeared to be nothing on the other side of the iron-fitted door as far as I could see. Then again, it was incredibly dark. Yet somehow I could sense that there was something stirring on the other side. What? What was that? I need to get out of here. What was that thing? I don't understand. I feel ill. Just what is going on in this island? You have reached the end of the demo. So, from what I've just seen, and you have seen, I think this could be a very interesting visual novel when it's completed. I personally would love to see more of it. I love narrating games like these. And on to the next one. Hello people, and welcome to Mr.White. This is a demo. You are trapped inside White's creepy house. You have to find a way to escape without getting caught. Now I have some practice with this, so it shouldn't be as painful. We're going to go with medium difficulty. After kidnapping you, Mr. White dropped you in one of his sleeping rooms. You need to get in Red Room. Find all of these 5 elements and put them on magic wall to open it. Kill Mr. Red to get the red key. Take the tool you find behind the wall to destroy the exit door and escape Mr. White's house. So here goes. I'm gonna disable music so I can hear better. Here's the blue key. Looks like he's going away. Mr. White here is a very fast individual. These doors not always have items in it. They just allow you to get to places where it may have it. Oh. Gonna drop the blue key here. Here we go. This will allow me to teleport to another part of the house so I can get the red key. Oh shit. We have Mr. Red in here. And we kill him once he comes between these walls. Rest in pieces. He was a good man, I guess. I am missing 2 pieces. Oh. Can I climb back up? I gotta figure this out. No. Since I have checked most of, or all of it, actually, all of the basement, the green key has to be around here. There we go. And the green room doesn't have anything in it. Probably. I already have all the pieces. Access granted for a chainsaw. Congratulations, you escaped from Mr. White's house. More coming soon. Oh yes, this is a demo, as you have not noticed by the title. Anyway, if you like games like Granny or such, you will probably enjoy this as well. Since it has a difficulty settings, that might be your taste as well. And if you want to try this for yourself, the link will be in the description, and this will be it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day. I'll see you around. Bye bye!